Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and lovers of drones everywhere. Welcome to Thursday Night Live with Ken and Ken. You have an extra Ken tonight. Ken Dono from Original Dobo. What's going on, pal?
Not much, man. How you been?
I've been good. Really good. The weather is hot, but I managed to get out there and get some content, fly some drones, and have some fun. Hopefully everybody else is doing the same.
The South is miserable this time of year.
Yeah. We've got a lot to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about stuff we don't even know we're going to talk about yet. That's how it's going to go. That's how it always goes. When this guy
we just sort of wing it. We can it.
We'll wing it. Yeah. If anyone can, Ken can, as they say.
That's right, we can.
And we've got a guest tonight from all the way down under there. It's Sean Matthews. I think that's how I say his name.
You pronounced that pretty good.
Yeah, he's from Drones Down Under, and we're going to talk to him about CASA and all the stuff that he's doing down there and what it's like to FPV chase a kangaroo. I don't know what he's doing, but we're going to talk to him about all that stuff. And we're going to talk about...
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Is it a dirty word? Is it a dirty acronym?
I think so.
Okay, so we won't talk about remote ID at all.
Yeah, okay. We're actually, you said we're going to have it, there may be a campaign launching or something?
We don't know. We don't know.
I don't know. Well, all right, we'll have to discuss it. We'll discuss that later.
Yes, and we're going to talk about, I'm getting pictures in for the sexy drone guy calendar. This is absolutely happening. We got this guy, we got this guy. The pictures are coming in. I got some new entries, got some great viewer videos. Yep. And the news with Jeff. But first, before we go any further...
the Dronely fans calendar?
Dronely fans. Did you just make that up? Because I'm going
to... I pulled that straight out of my drone.
Please, nobody get that domain name, dronelyfans.com. Please don't look at...
talk to you about this before I blurt shit.
Yeah, don't blurt stuff. It's gone now. Let's see. It's taken. Son of a gun. 10 guys tried it. Well, before we go any further, we have to thank one of our biggest sponsors, and that is, of course, the Cadillac of processed meat. I'm talking about Pigeon Jerky.
You'll enjoy Pigeon Jerky, the Cadillac of processed meats. You'll enjoy Pigeon Jerky, and you'll give your family a treat. It's balanced nutrition to help them grow. Yeah. And it's full of fiber to make them go.
You'll enjoy Pigeon Jerky.
Pigeon Jerky, the Cadillac of processed meats. Yeah. Pigeon Jerky, a fine snack since 1970s. So, Ken, what's new with you other than your studio? Man, it looks good.
Not much, man. I honestly just working quite a bit. Like I haven't had a lot of YouTube time, to be completely honest. That's a good thing, right? That's a good thing to be busy. But that's really it, man.
Distance makes the heart grow fonder, and if we just see a little bit of Ken Dono here and there,
just a little bit,
then you'll be appreciated more when you pop up.
Yeah, I don't know. I still manage to piss people off, so that's always a good thing. As long as I'm making some sort of impact, I'm okay with that.
Are you going to hold back from pissing people off tonight?
Probably not. No, we're going to make all sorts of friends.
Okay. Well,
so I'm sure.
Speaking of friends, I do have to mention this. We've got the sexy drone dude calendar filling up. Of course, we've got sexy newsman Jeff Sills. We've got sexy clown Jim Beauchard.
Yeah.
And we got this guy. He's May. And we got another guy. We got the captain here. I think he's going to be December.
Oh yeah.
And then we got Marco. He's I don't know. He's just. I mean, I don't see a drone anywhere in there, but
there needs to be a drone. I
mean, send me another one, Marco. Incorporate a drone somehow.
What's good? Where are you selling these things, man?
I don't know, right? But he said, "Hey Ken, I sure want to be on the sexy drone guy calendar." So, and he's from the Netherlands, so that's why his swimsuit was so tight. I imagine you know how those Europeans are. They're like,
they can get away with that. If I go to a beach like that, I'm gonna get a 1,000-yard stare
and a $1,000 fine probably. Can you see my testicles? You can't?
I don't know.
Let's make it tighter.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I've got so many great videos to share.
Okay.
Let me just get right into that before we get into the news. I want to be involved in this kind of production. I don't know if you've seen this. This is from Mikhail Parkhomenko, and there's a link to his channel in the description. I'm going to play you the video, and then while you're watching it, it's a short one-take FPV video called Transmission. As you're watching this, try to imagine how it was done, and then I'll play the how it was done. Some of you may have seen this already. This is amazing. It's all one shot. The coordination it took. They look like the bad guys. Isn't that just fantastic? Ken, your thoughts. Your thoughts, Ken.
I don't know, unless they had like a magnet or something that stuck to the side of the car.
A magnet.
I mean, that would be like the way they were able to stop it just like that. I'm not really sure.
Okay, well, I'm going to reveal how it was done. And what a simple and great idea, but it takes a lot of coordination. Check this out. This is how that was done. It's got a handle on it, man.
Oh, that's smart.
Right?
Wow, and that's not even, doesn't even have, yeah.
It's not flying yet. We'll just drop this. Right?
That's wild.
Dude's in the apartment flying it. Right, there's the drone. There's a little bit of visual trickery happening here. See?
Wow.
They put in a window so you didn't see his arm. Right?
Okay.
And then they brought it inside. So dude watching it in the goggles, he had to get out of there and get down so he can get closer and then disarm. Right?
Wow. Can you imagine you drop it or something? I mean, that's not only that, you got to be like super, careful you don't whack anybody.
Yeah. And he's got communication with the people on the ground. I don't know what country this was in. I see some problems here.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't fly. Maybe not like on a country road or something like that. Or I don't know. You get
not in the city at night in a tunnel. Yeah, unless they closed it down.
You could have pulled that off during COVID though in a lot of places.
Yeah, we don't know. But
that's wild.
That was
cool,
really great. Yeah, thank you, Mikhail, for letting me share that. And
absolutely awesome video.
There's something even more awesome, and everybody sent me a link to this. Everybody's like, check this out, and I just thought it was so cool. And this is how awesome the RC community is because of a video like this. Check this out.
When this Marine was out flying his helicopter with a friend, he noticed a group of guys were flying a remote-controlled plane when they accidentally got it stuck in the trees.
He just crashed.
Did he really?
I swear to God he did, right in the trees.
So this pilot wanted to try something he's never done before.
You know how cool it would be if we could scoop that thing out of the tree for him? You know how big of a friend I would have?
Do it. He then flew inside of the tree as close as he could get, as his co-pilot reached out and grabbed their RC plane.
Got it. Hold on to her.
And when they flew it back to the guys who lost it, they couldn't believe what just happened.
He saw it all. I fly these fucking things too. I love them. Thank you, sir. You're so welcome. It was my pleasure.
That's a story for the ages, right?
Is it?
Isn't that amazing?
That is freaking awesome.
I'd love to see that.
That's freaking awesome.
I imagine that was a tiny helicopter. I can't imagine
but
a big one.
Like, I mean, to drop down on the tree like that, that's pretty awesome. That takes skill to sit there and hover and then have somebody, sort of hang out, get it out there. But yeah, it's probably a small copter.
What a surprise! You send up a fixed wing foamy, and a manned helicopter comes down.
The fact that he spotted that's awesome because that means he's sitting there scanning, and he's watching.
That's right.
So
situational awareness.
That is awesome.
Very cool. We have a great community, don't we?
Yeah,
we really
I'd say
do.
so.
And
Yeah.
let me thank a couple people here. Drone Rob, as always, thank you very much. $20 super chat. He's always a great supporter. He listens to my radio show on WJLI out of Paducah,
Is that
Kentucky.
simulcasted?
We're on a couple stations now, but if one of the moderators could put a link in the description to the caster link, then you can listen online if you'd like to. It's very irreverent. It's more irreverent than this. And we have a very forgiving audience. And we have no corporate overlords, so we can do whatever the hell we want. And we do. Thank you, Drone Rob.
Nice.
And Dirt Road Drones, thank you, buddy. Keep on trucking, good buddy. I appreciate you very much. And I see all these people that have been member for many, many months. The Drone Dad, Andy Cortez, thank you, Smeghead. Ken Torbeck with $2. Thanks, buddy. Ken is always in my Discord. Ken, Dono, are you going to stop by my Discord after the show?
I may. You know, I don't really get on Discord that much. I used to, but then I just haven't in a while though.
I only do it once a week after the show. But
I guess I probably should. I have a Discord. I just haven't used it.
Yeah, my girlfriend's in there. Always, she's in there talking to the fellows. She often will stay there after I leave and talk about me behind my back. I don't know what she's talking about, but again, if somebody would put the Discord link too, that would be awesome. Appreciate it. And Northside Hawk with, I guess, an Australian $2. Thank you very much. Can you congratulate me on 1K subs? Yes, congratulations on 1,000 subs. It is such a rewarding thing to get that comma, isn't it? Gotta have that. Thank you. Congratulations, Northside Hawk.
That's awesome.
And
Congrats.
Ken Torbeck again with the $2. Hunter's package on the way to the White House. Yes, okay. Well, we don't get political, and I have no opinion on that. But thank you, Ken. Dynadrone. Yeah, Ken, you're biting your lip.
I'm just
Okay, all right.
I'll leave it alone.
Yeah, I don't want to lose half my subscribers. Which half? Who knows? You'll never know.
You'll never know.
Yeah, you'll never know. Some of you know, but Dynadrone, thank you very much. He says, hi, all you cans. That's right. We've cornered the market on cans tonight. And Keith, D&D Aero Views, $5. Thanks, buddy. For the next milkshake. Yes, it's kind of a tradition whenever I meet up with Keith and Barkley sometimes in Nashville.
That you break or lose something?
What's that?
That you break or lose something? I mean, I'm sorry.
Oh, no. Whenever the production is complete, we go and we get a milkshake.
That's good.
That's our thing. That's our little reward to ourselves.
Nice.
Arco Drone Solutions with $5. Thanks, Art. Ladies, if he can't appreciate your fruit jokes, you need to let that man go. And that's why you need to go to Art's channel for all that fantastic humor. He used to be a comedian. Emphasis on used to be. I'm just kidding, buddy. Newfoundland Drones with a Canadian $10. Thank you very, very much for your support. They're rolling on the ground in their little guy there. In their little sticker.
Stickers. I like stickers. Yes, I do.
I like stickers. Thank you very much. And Trevor Fuss, who is just recovering. And he's not feeling that well, but he's getting better. Too much. Thank you. $2. And we wish you well, sir. Keep those coming in, and I will read them all, of course. But right now, let's get into
the news.
The news.
Stop the music. It's time for news.
Let's head over into the drone newsosphere with Jeff Sills. What's happening, buddy? No, Jeff.
Helps if I unmute.
Yeah, there you go.
So that's important.
It is important. And now he's going to talk about our new sponsor. While I show you about our new sponsor, is Camera Butter, and they sent me these filters. Ken, you know about Camera Butter, don't you?
I've been using Camera Butter for probably, I'd say, 2 years now.
Oh, so great, so great.
They are awesome.
And these are filters for the Hero line, the 910 and the 11. And man, they're high quality. I'm going to drop one down so you can hear the quality. Oh man, that'll break your toe if you drop it on your foot. thank you very much for being a sponsor. Camera Butter. Go to camerabutter.com. Right, Jeff?
Yes, because unfortunately my computer has decided it didn't want to do anything.
That's all right. We thank Camera Butter very much. And
yeah,
now,
tell them I apologize.
And now the news.
They'll forgive me.
It's okay.
I blame it on HP. So.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so this week in the news, we have North Richland Hills, Texas. They decided to break a world record.
This was really amazing if you had a chance to see it. The Northeast Tarrant Chamber of Commerce teamed up with Sky Elements Drones. The show is now in the Guinness World Record book for the largest aerial sentence formed by drones. The company celebrated the achievement of officially setting a Guinness World Record. You can see all the smiles there. They did it. More than 1,000 drones were used to help celebrate this year's 4th of July. And again, just an absolutely beautiful display there last night with those drones.
And the resolution, the number of drones is just going to keep increasing.
Yeah.
It's really amazing. I've yet to see a cluster drone show in person.
Really?
Yeah. Ken, you've seen one, right?
Yeah. I got to tell you, I hope that replaces fireworks, to be completely honest.
No.
Dude, I love to see the drone shows. I think they're way more entertaining to watch. I mean, I was the guy at 9:30, like looking out my window, like, all right, God, come on, I got to be up early. Wednesday.
What about the explosions?
I mean, the explosions are cool, but how many times can we freaking fly? I was marked safe from flying through fireworks this time. I mean, it's cool the first time. Like, you fly through, it's cool the first time, but then after, it just becomes redundant.
Ken, are you bored of flying through fireworks?
Yes.
Are you? That's like getting bored of having sex. What is wrong with you?
No, God, it's like chasing drift cars. Like the first few times of chasing drift cars, it was super fun. And then after like the 4th or 5th time, I'm like, all right, I've chased this, you just chase them. Like, I need a new challenge.
Oh,
a new challenge.
I never grow tired of it. I've probably done it 12 times. I never grow tired of it. Huh? More than that, you?
What?
How many times does it take to get bored of it?
Not very much. Like, probably, like, I think it's till I get good at something.
Oh.
Like, once I get once you get proficient with something, then it's like, need a new challenge. I need to up the ante.
Well, in that case, I should be bored of making love, but I'm not.
You got a sound effect for that?
You know I do, ladies.
I do it.
I'm gonna lay you down on that bearskin rug, light the incense, and pour some Cavassier. And then I'm gonna fly through some fireworks. Yeah. All right, Jeff.
All right, you done?
Probably.
All right. So next in the news, we have a really, really good story. This is about a dramatic rescue thanks to a team flying a drone.
Oh, yeah.
This morning, new video obtained by ABC News showing a dramatic rescue.
Try to roll the Jeep this way.
Two people trapped inside their overturned Jeep after a sinkhole opened up beneath them, filling their car with water, leaving only 6 inches of air to breathe. The passenger calling 911, but dispatchers unable to hear much of what she's saying.
We're upside down in the creek.
Okay, where are you at? What's the nearest cross streets to you?
Luckily for them, 18-year-old Josh Logue had been flying his drone that morning.
Just thought it was a shadow or a mud puddle on the ground from all that rain recently. And then when I saw a car in it, I'm like, oh, that's a sinkhole.
Logue, his father, and their neighbor, an off-duty firefighter, rushing to the scene with no idea people were trapped inside. They called 911 with the location. That's when they hear a voice calling for help.
Holy there's someone in there. We'll get you out.
Colorado State Patrol arrives after the firefighters. There's Logue on the left.
Do you know this vehicle or anything like that?
I do not. I was flying my drone over here to look at the water and saw this.
Rescuers try to saw through the bottom of the Jeep to get the couple out. Then they decide to turn the Jeep onto its side.
Stop there. Hold up.
Lowering a ladder into the sinkhole. Finally, one at a time, the couple in their 60s are helped out through a broken window.
That's okay, I got you. Okay, I'm gonna hold this, okay?
The woman wasn't hurt. The driver, who wasn't wearing a seatbelt, according to the police report, was hospitalized with serious injuries. The hero of the story, Logue, says he's glad he happened to be flying his drone at that exact same time.
I'm amazed it was kind of a miracle that happened. Just crazy that I just happened to be flying down here at the time.
Yeah. So what if this happened after September 16th and he couldn't have flown his drone because of remote ID and he decided to skateboard instead? What would have happened? I ask you, what would have happened?
Huh?
Nothing, because he would have followed the rules.
Well, he wouldn't have been able to see them and rescue them.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Because RID would prevent his drone from taking off.
How would it prevent it though?
I don't know. It's just a scenario.
Oh,
I don't know.
I was just wondering. I was like wondering how it would prevent it. Though.
I don't know.
Considering his location, he may not even knew anything about remote ID.
Right. Well, yeah.
I mean, he also. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, he looked like he was out there in the sticks a little bit.
Yeah. 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 Okay.
Yeah. Well,
we won't speculate because it turned out all right and everything was good and they were rescued and drones are good. Back to you.
But you know what? We don't play what ifs. That only counts in horseshoes and assholes.
Well said, Ken. Well said, sir. Is that a T-shirt? Let's make it a T-shirt.
It could be. It could be.
My people said that we're making that T-shirt.
Let's make it.
I'm being told I have no people. Back to you, Jeff.
All right, so this one is sort of interesting. Norway's top court on Friday ruled that the son of a Russian businessman close to Vladimir Putin violated the law that bars Russians from flying drones when he flew over the Arctic last year. The Supreme Court decision overturned a lower court's ruling saying that the flight ban for Russian citizens, including drone flights, makes it illegal for Russian companies or citizens to land on, take off, or fly over Norwegian territory. Norway, like the European Union, decided on the ban in 2022 after the invasion of Ukraine. So Andrei Yakunin, who holds both a Russian and British passport, went on a vacation around the Arctic archipelago and flew his drone to get footage and thus broke the law and is now being held responsible for it.
Huh.
Because he's Russian. And he's not allowed to fly in Norway.
Okay.
There you go. So
okay.
You want the weird? I give you the weird.
That is weird.
That is weird.
For sure.
Yeah. All right. So next, this one is specifically for Ken because I know Ken loves drones.
I do.
And he loves explosions.
I love explosions.
So we need this drone footage of the Hasket demolition.
Oh, yeah. Is there a fire in the hole?
I have no idea.
I bet there will be. Say it.
Boy, they got a lot of charge packs on that place.
Yeah.
All clear? All clear on the firing line.
Say it.
Here we go.
Say it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fire in the hole.
Yeah.
Light it up, Gary.
Smash.
Woo! Thank you, Lord. Thank you, King.
Yes. That was cool. But, however, Ken, I only have 3 letters to say about that.
What's that?
F and P and V. Wouldn't that have been fun?
That would have been. Can you imagine diving the pillar as it's going? Well, I mean, as long as you knew which way it's going to fall.
Well, RotorRiot did something similar to that. Those lucky devils. But every time I see one of these demolitions.
Well, didn't Fly High do one of those, or did they not allow him to do any FPV there? Was that in Alabama, right?
I think he did. I'm not sure if he used FPV.
I thought they used FPV. It's funny. The other day, that video, his video, like the drone footage, popped up on Facebook, like for that college. I thought that was pretty cool.
Okay.
Like it just randomly popped up from the college itself, like as a spot, like it was as a sponsored video.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I've seen that before. But that was pretty cool.
Yeah. One of these days I'll get invited to a demolition.
All right, so next in the news, Canada today. There was a tornado that hit down in Alberta. This has been rated as an EF tornado, which is one of the strongest tornadoes to hit that particular province in more than 35 years. The damage assessment was conducted by the Environmental Climate Change in Canada, and they had, I think, 12 homes that were impacted. 3 were completely destroyed. 4 were left completely uninhabitable. Most of the damage occurred in farms along the west side of one of the highway. It's like Highway 2A is what they call. But you can see the scar in the ground for the tornado as it went across. It had the path length was 15.3 kilometers with a maximum path width of 620 meters. Wow. And they estimate that the tornado was on the ground for up to 30 minutes.
Man, I hate to see that.
The last time that they had an EF4 tornado was in Edmonton, and that was in 1987.
Yeah, they don't get a lot of tornadoes up there.
Nope. Not a lot. So next, this one comes out of China, and I thought this was just fabulous. They had some very heavy flooding recently in China, and this particular couple got themselves into a real pickle.
Oh, yeah, they did. Look at that.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so the guys used a drone and gave them the necessary stuff that they needed to be rescued from the car. And so they got the flotation vests, and the line was taken to them by the drone that then got them off the car.
Oh, that's great. How else would they have gotten the cord across there? I guess a bow and arrow maybe?
Yeah.
Is that how they used to do it?
It took them 3 hours to get those people off that car.
I'm glad they did. Glad they did.
Wow.
All right, so next in California, they're having a huge spike in mosquitoes. So they came up with a unique way of fighting mosquitoes.
Spraying with our UAS system, the marsh for mosquito control. There's quite a bit more mosquitoes due to the amount of rain. Almost every single marsh pond is full of water. The mosquito larvae are filter feeders, so they feed on the bacteria. It enters their gut, and it's a growth regulator. So essentially, if you guys have seen the movie Alien, it blows their stomach up. So that's the best way to describe. Like, it probably hurts a lot too.
The drone is very non-invasive, so we fly at a height that is above all nesting birds.
We've done studies where we watch the birds, and we've done the drone, and the birds usually come right back after the drone passes over. So if anything, it's definitely it's better for the environment.
It's more of a battle, right? You're not gonna win the war against mosquitoes, but you can gain some ground. And with technology, advancements in technology, we're seeing gaining ground.
That is great what they're doing. Another good drone doing good things, but how much do you have to hate mosquitoes to put that they die in pain in your promotional video?
You know what? I'm here for it, man.
Yeah, I'm here for it. Yeah, no.
Dude. Especially living down here, it's pretty miserable with the mosquitoes. So yes. I'm all about that. I would be totally okay with that with the marshlands that we have.
With them dying in pain in slow motion with their bellies?
Yeah,
I think I'm good with it too.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm fine with it too.
Yeah.
Ken,
I'm pretty good with that.
Ken lives in Florida, by the way, just to let everybody know who may be joining us for the first time, who don't know that.
Yeah.
Now, of course, since we now know that they caused them to explode, we just need the slow-mo guys to give us the appropriate.
Yes, now I want to see it.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So next in the news, the Miami Seaquarium recently came under hot water after several social media users actively posted about an orca named Lolita, who has been held at the Seaquarium since the 1970s. However, the matter became more intense after Phil Demers, a Twitter user, shared a time-lapse video of Lolita taken on June 26, 2023 with his drone.
So
now, they don't have any more public displays for this particular fish. So now the fish just sits there in this tank, and they're just basically catching footage that the health is deteriorating. and it's just not being taken care of the way that you would expect it to.
It is very sad.
That whole facility looks like shit.
Yeah, it does. Look at the paint. I mean, it's just
like that's a crop. That's a crop. Like that one's cropped in. But if you saw the other ones, the ones that were floating around Twitter of that and social media, that whole like the Seaquarium, it looks terrible. Like that's like a very poorly maintained environment for anything, period.
Yeah.
Well, and Miami Seaquarium, their great response to having this exposed to the public was to turn around and sue the Twitter user for defamation.
Really?
Yep.
But
yes,
it's right there.
Right.
It's like right there. You can freaking see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Phil Dimmers is going to be fighting the legal case.
That's why it's important. Like I swear, like if you have social media, you have whatever, like if you're going to put anything out there, you're going to post anything, you should have like I have like social media, like I have insurance. So if I say something and somebody wants to hit me with the defamation or whatever, just turn it over to insurance. Let them deal with that shit.
Yeah.
Well, Phil has started a GoFundMe to start raising funds to be able to fight the case against the Miami Seaquarium.
Yeah.
So
Me too. That is just not good optics for the Seaquarium either. They're doing more damage to themselves by bringing a case. That's crazy.
I bet you there would be a lawyer that would pick that up pro bono, knowing that they would counter sue.
Yeah, and this poor creature has been in there for something like 30 years or something.
No, 53 years.
Could you imagine
53 years it's been in that? Oh my God, it's got to be insane by now.
That's insane.
That poor thing is driven. How long do orcas, killer whales, live?
No idea, but 53 years is a long time.
Long time. I mean, but I think I've heard they can live up to 75, 80 years. If I'm not mistaken.
Somebody find out where that GoFundMe is and put a link in our chat, please.
Yeah. So definitely something.
Somebody asked how much is that insurance? It's not cheap. It's about $200 a month.
Oh, and that covers like
media liability insurance is what it is.
Media liability, okay. And like so then since you're insured, what can you get away with, Ken?
You can't get away. Well, it's not that you can get away with it. It's just that if you get sued financially, like you're not responsible for, like, for instance, let's say you do a piece of content and somebody doesn't agree with that content and they decide they want to sue you, Ken Heron.
Right.
Well, you would file like an insurance claim and they would have their lawyers, analyze it and whether or not they can do like an anti-slap. There's all these things. Every state is different. And because you're putting out content that may, I don't know, offend somebody in another state, it's silly. People have very fragile balls.
They do. They really do, man.
People have very fragile balls in this world lately.
Thin-skinned. Wow.
Very thin skin.
Right.
So.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. I'm hanging on to that one. Fragile balls is definitely going to be when this takes.
Hold on.
All right.
Wait, we make that another T-shirt?
No.
I'm being told. I'm being told.
You still don't have people back there. You still don't have people, man.
I still don't have. I'm being told. Yeah, still no people.
Still no people.
Yeah.
That's all right, because Ken Dono, this one's for you. We're going to have flying cars by 2025.
Oh, yeah, we are. We totally are, for sure. Yeah, we are.
Flying cars.
Flying car.
Flying cars you're seeing in sci-fi movies are one step closer to actually happening. The FAA just certified an all-electric version from a California company for testing.
Aleph Automotive's Model A is the first fully electric vehicle approved by the U.S. government that can both fly and travel on roads.
So Aleph claims the car can travel up to 200 miles by land, but it maxes out at 25 miles an hour. It can also travel for 110 miles by air. No word yet on the speed there. Aleph plans to sell the Model A for about $300,000. Delivery is anticipated around the end of 2025. The Model A still needs approval from the National Highway Transportation Safety Board.
This achievement represents a milestone in the evolution of personal transportation systems and opens up opportunities for both individuals and businesses to reimagine mobility options in cities.
Okay. And this is really just something for rich people that don't know what the hell to do with their money.
Have we learned nothing from manufacturing this shit and then selling it for above, I don't know, $200,000?
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you've got 200, 300 whatever dollars, I hear that there's a trip to the Titanic in a submersible. Their schedule opened up.
All right, let's go to the next
opened
story.
wide up
All right.
recently.
No.
No lines, no waiting.
Your people are telling you next story, Jeff. Next story.
Yeah, next story.
Oh,
All right.
Too soon? Okay.
Yeah, soon. So anyway, out of the police department in Santa Monica, California, might be using drones.
Oh, yeah, they will.
An eye in the sky, helping police de-escalate gun confrontations, catch drug dealers, and put away violent criminals.
About 88 to 90% of the time, the drone is first on scene before any of our officers in the field arrive. And we'll be responding east to Lincoln Boulevard.
In beachside Santa Monica, police officer Peter Lashley can survey a city block for a reported suspicious person from a command center a mile away, or zoom in to read a license plate. Last year, the drone was the only witness to a brutal assault, and its footage was used to convict one of the attackers.
How have these drones changed the way your department does its work?
It's a fundamental change. It allows an experienced police officer to see what's going on in real time and communicate those facts to the officers responding.
They say the drone's eye view can prevent officers from overreacting. Santa Monica police got a call last year about a man with a gun. At first, drone footage appeared to confirm it, but then...
As I'm watching him, I can clearly see, and you'll see he exhaled a little bit of smoke here in a second, that I'm 99% sure that that's some type of lighter.
Given that, police didn't need to approach aggressively. Drones can also help police on dangerous operations. We got a demonstration of the lemur, which SWAT teams can use to break windows and fly inside buildings, even talking to a barricaded subject.
This is the police department. We're here to resolve the situation peacefully.
We don't have a problem with drones being used for particular emergencies, but what we don't want to see are drones used for routine mass surveillance where they're watching everybody all the time. And we're afraid that this is going to lead to that.
Seattle has banned the use of police drones, and other communities have demanded strict rules.
There are some people that are just uncomfortable with the idea of the police flying anything that could conduct overhead surveillance.
We respond to calls for service. We don't utilize it as a random surveillance tool. I think as it rolls out on a national level, that's going to be incumbent upon those agencies that deploy it to be responsible with it.
And important for communities to keep watch on those who protect and serve.
You know, and Ken, this is for you. The best drones to use for police and emergency services are DJI drones, and you live in a state that has banned those.
Yeah, they just recently they banned them. And matter of fact, I want to say like 14, 15 units on the shelf at the shop.
Yeah.
That were like we took them back on credit. And then they're now using the Teledyne, the FLIR drone is what they're using as a replacement because they didn't want to go with Skydio because Skydio has like this software subscription service and they didn't want to do that and they don't have distributors. So if something goes wrong, you got to go through Skydio. Right. You can't go through a third party. There's just not very many options. It was funny they were using the lemur. I got a chance. That was the lemur 1 that they were using. I got a chance to see that in person at the Las Vegas, their Las Vegas headquarters when they were in Vegas before they moved to Seattle. And what's funny about that drone, it's mostly just FPV components. It's like T-motor, ESC, T-motor, motor. It's just an FPV drone that's sort of dolled up and it has LiDAR on the bottom, so it's able to maintain stable flight. And it's just running a version of iNav on there, but that's it. That's what the lemur is. And you know how much they sold that drone for?
How much?
$16,000.
Of course they did. Of course.
$16,000 for a glorified FPV drone.
Yeah, because cities are paying for it, not individuals.
Yes, and it was insane, and it was very hard to fly because you had to fly at visual, like line of sight. There was no FPV goggles or anything for it. And even though it had LiDAR, it was still very squirrely. And I was thinking to myself, like, how the hell are police officers that really aren't trained to fly these things going to get up to speed and fly this, like, be proficient? They can't.
Exactly. And departments have gotten used to all their DJI stuff, integrated it, So realistically, just in your opinion, how much more in danger is the public now that the police are messing with all this new stuff that they're not familiar with
Vastly. There's a lot more because they can't respond as quick. Like take for instance where I'm at. I'm by the water. I'm in a coastal city. So when somebody goes missing on the water, what's funny is we'll get a call, and they'll ask for our assistance with thermals, or they'll ask for our assistance. So we act as a third party, like an interim help, like a search and rescue liaison, to go out and assist, because we can do that because we're not directly affiliated, like we're not law enforcement. We're now acting as a volunteer, a volunteer agency essentially, to go out and assist when they call.
Will there be more of that? Will be more contract work for drone people to use with emergency services?
I mean, in an odd way that it will, but then you have some counties like where the sheriffs are like, yeah, we're not going to do that. We're going to stay the course, because they realize, what is the governor going to do? You're going to defund the police? Like, you're not going to defund us. You're not going to take away. You're not going to come in here and take the. So some of the sheriffs in the state are calling the governor's bluff, and they're just like, no, we're going to keep doing what we're doing. We're here to save lives. You do you, Ron.
Right. And there's so many people who can testify to that fact. People who were rescued or helped with drones one way or another.
Like we had another standoff situation where an Altel, it was an Evo, was able to pinpoint where the suspect was, so SWAT can enter the house safely.
Yeah.
Like crazy.
The other thing to this is that also historically, and over the 5 years or so, the 5 or 6 years that I've been doing this, when it creates a void in the market, something will come in and fill it, right?
Yeah.
And so what I'm interested in is what company, what manufacturer do we not know of out there that has suddenly seen this void and now wants to try to fill it, that wants to come up with that DJI compatible.
There's one manufacturer, it's a Japanese manufacturer.
Yes.
That is I would say they are the closest, and the name escapes me, but there's a Japanese manufacturer that is the closest to filling the void for a DJI drone. And oddly enough, it's funny, like that would be okay because Japan is technically an ally. That would be okay for government use.
Yes.
Which, I mean, even though it's from another country, that would be okay. But you can't use it. But that's the thing. We don't have anything. We fell too far behind the 8 ball. And even the closest shot we have, which was Skydio, they're so hell-bent on just collecting money. They're just trying to consume money, crowdfunding, round E funding, taking on money, and they don't care about any innovation. They want to starve out innovation. They just want to try to push lobbyists to sort of rule out these other drones. So they're freeing up the market is essentially what they're doing. That's what Skydio is doing. They're freeing up the market for themselves.
Allegedly. There, I just covered. You don't need your immediate insurance.
Yeah, exactly. Now. We don't need that. Yeah, allegedly. But no, you can see where the money goes when they do provide money to the lobbyists. You can go online. You can see all of it. Well, what's physically available is there. And you can see how much money they've spent on lobbyists and what states they've spent. They spent the most in Florida. And obviously mission accomplished because look what happened where we are. And I'm sure they're spending a lot of money in Tennessee right now.
It is all about money.
It is all about, it's always about money.
And speaking about money, because we love deliveries. We love companies that come up with new ways of delivery. We love talking about the fact that people have thought that drone delivery was going to be the next latest and greatest things. But put it to Domino's and a company by the name of Gravity Industries to push the limits of innovations just one more time, because they have started a trial of pizza delivery utilizing jet suits.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, who wants a $400 pizza? Me. This is pure marketing. That's all this is. Yeah.
This is in Glastonbury, England.
Yeah.
And this is actually part of a test that they did in a town for the music festival where they were delivering pizzas with jet suits.
Okay. Now there's no sound, but watch the people on the ground when he lands, look with their ears, their hands in their ears. Just like, okay, yeah, your noisy ass pizza delivery.
Where do you get your? How do you take a tip? Like, where do they stick it?
Maybe he's got a third arm. I don't know.
They pay for the tip online when they order it, more than likely. But the simple fact that he is flying out to the Glastonbury Festival and landing in the tent area.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not allowed to fly over crowds, for Christ's sake. They're landing that thing in tents.
Remote ID? Do they need like some sort of ADS-B or something? You're flying, or that they're okay, or is that considered a shielded operation? How does that work for them? I would
Wild West of jet suits.
What about ultralight?
Yeah, it's weird. It's I don't know. It's weird.
It is weird. It's all being sorted out.
If we want the open skies like we had 3 or 4 years ago, we just all need to go get jet suits.
I mean, that seems to be the thing. We just get jet suits and just go that route. I mean, that looks fun until it's not, and when you crash. But it doesn't seem like they're flying super high either.
Oh man, like you got 300 pounds or whatever on you, you're gonna get injured. You're gonna break all of your limbs.
Oh yeah, you're gonna break some stuff, but
then you're gonna get burned, and then you're gonna go up in flames.
Would you fly that, Ken?
Over water, maybe.
After watching Ken race around on his Kawasaki Ninja, I guarantee you, he would fly in.
I would push the limit too far. Yeah, but I wouldn't deliver pizzas.
No, he wouldn't deliver pizzas, but he would definitely, teach us how to orbit towers.
Cinematic orbits.
Deliver my own tube. That's
right there.
All right, Jeff. Thank you so much, my friend.
You are most welcome.
Thanks for stopping by. Now get out.
All right. Now, we've got the first of many hilarious jokes from Ken
I have
Dono.
none. I knew you were going to ask. I had none. I literally prepared. Beauchart did not write me any jokes. And actually, somebody banned Beauchart from writing my jokes.
Why?
They said, well, I think it was because like he treads that fine line of appropriate, inappropriate, and what the F.
Right.
Which I understand.
But
I can understand it. I could Google a joke if I want, but that's like plagiarism.
He's so adorable, though. He can get away with that.
He really is. I mean, I don't know. I'm I'm an observationist jokester. Like I observe things and then I would comment on that.
But this, if you heard, so the hooker and the pedophile went into a bar. Like, you'd be like, all right, what do you got, Beauchart? I can't wait. That's funny.
Yeah, but the problem is when you get to the punchline of his joke, you're usually just disgusted. But you can't be mad at him because he's Canadian. Because he's Canadian.
That's right.
You just can't be mad at him because he's Canadian.
That's right.
But it's just it is a WTF type of moment with him all the time. But I agree. Somebody says ban Canadian jokes. I may have just him, or we need to regulate Beauchart's jokes.
Look, Canadians, I'm not on board with this, and I'm sorry that Ken is even talking about. I'm very sorry. I owe you one loonie.
Is that what a loonie?
A loonie is, I think it's equivalent of a coin, dollar or something.
Is that what? I don't even know. I can't even keep up with currency.
So we've got Sean from Drones Down Under waiting in the wings. But before I do that, I want to ask you, Ken, a question after I show this video. This is me in Atlanta flying around with a couple buddies.
Okay.
Very nice. Oh, you have the is that the 11?
Oh yeah,
Mini?
Yeah.
Have you had any problems with it?
Not really. Well, initially, but it does have some quirks to it. But
this is my third GoPro Mini 11. As you guys know, my first and second GoPro Mini 11s were defective from the factory.
The main thing is just I think a lot of people are, you got to charge it slow. If you try to use like one of those fast chargers,
right?
That's where I usually have that where the battery it just stays red and it kind of drains itself.
This is the third. It has not frozen while recording yet, but it freezes while charging all the time.
Does it ever freeze?
Only if I like on a hit.
Oh, Dave.
If I take a hit, I will lose like the last 15 seconds.
The fourth Mini 11 also freezes while charging.
Have you seen Dave fly high FPV?
Yeah.
And he is not having any luck.
Camera still won't turn on.
And he had these MEPs too, and he kind of said, but they've been working fine for me. Like the MEPs sent me these motors, and I mean they've been holding up. But I haven't taken too many hits with this.
Okay. You just got some lemons, Dave.
Look, Get that piece of shit out of here.
Okay. If you haven't seen Fly High's ongoing I Hate the GoPro 11 series on Instagram,
so
please check it out. Your opinion on that, Ken.
To bolster his complaints with the Hero 11 Mini, he is 100% right.
Yeah.
My Hero 11 Mini, I did a video recently with the Avata, my modified Avata, and people were saying there was like a jitter in the video. I'm like, there's no jitter. It's on a soft mount. There's no way. So I'm looking over the footage and I'm like, I'm noticing this jitter. And what was happening is the Hero 11 Mini, one of my Hero 11 Minis, writes to the SD card. No matter what SD card I put in there, it writes too slow. Can't fix it.
Oh.
It just writes too slow. The other Hero 11 Mini is fine, but I can't shut off the Wi-Fi, so it interferes with. And I never installed GoPro Labs, but I'm over the 11s.
Yeah, I think it was.
I'm over GoPro. I'm not going to buy any more GoPros. I'll just use my actions until further notice.
I didn't get the Mini 11, but
I think
did they release it too soon?
I don't even know why it exists. It's only marginally lighter. It's like a little bit lighter. It's not that much lighter. It doesn't make sense. I'd rather have the convenience of being able to preview my footage with the full size Hero 11.
Yeah.
Than to have that little square box garbage. That thing sucks. It just sucks.
Yeah, but anything with the word mini in it sells pretty well in our world.
Now, Squint says I use an 11 with not a lot of problems. Is that an 11 or an 11 Mini though? Because the 11 is fine. The full size 11 I have no problems, but the Mini not so hot.
Is Squints in the chat?
Squints is in the chat, man.
I love Squints. I sorry I missed you last time I was in Atlanta.
Dude, Adam's such a badass pilot.
I mean, yeah.
He got fast. So good, so fast.
Yeah, check him out on Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay, so we settled that. Let me just thank, before we bring in Sean from Australia, let me thank a few people here. Thank you very much. St. Kenny, $2 for the 2 best Kens on YouTube. And Chin Dynasty with a Canadian $6.99. $6.99. Thank you, Chin, very much. And Nels Mize with $5. When you coming to Virginia Beach area, Ken, would kick ours to have some celebrity dronage out there. I think that one's for you, Ken. I think they're talking to you.
No, they're talking to you.
But it says Ken, and that would be. Well, we should probably.
Well, no, that could be. We can go up there together.
We should probably go together, yeah. And
we'll go there.
Northside Hawk, $2. Thank you very much. He says simply lol, and then Lens Capture Online with $2. That's a hot studio Ken. No, the other Ken. All right, awesome. Thank you very much. All right, we've got to bring in our guest.
Let's do it.
And while I do that, because Skype sucks and I hate it, and it changes every single time I use it, Ken is going to give you some...
The meltdown happen. This is where the meltdowns usually happen.
This is where it happens.
This is where it happens. I have a good friend texting me jokes, so, I mean, if we need it, I do have jokes on the wrist.
Oh, great. Yes, please.
Thanks to my friend Jimmy J.
Okay.
So you let me know if we need it. I will revert to my gadget. Okay.
Yeah, hit us.
So he's. What did the police say to the public after 2 criminals broke into the pharmacy and stole all the Viagra?
I don't know. What?
Keep a lookout for 2 hardened criminals.
Ah, that's good. That's
this is good. Jokes to the wrist. I love it. This is so convenient.
You got another one?
Yeah, he says, a friend of mine was kidnapped by a group of mimes.
Uh-huh.
They did unspeakable things to him. Pretty good. Thanks,
That's
Jimmy.
pretty good, yeah.
Let's see. That's all I got. He only sent me 2.
And we have Sean. Hey.
Hey guys.
Hey, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's good to have you here. I'm glad I finally figured Skype out after all these years.
So glad we don't have a meltdown.
Yeah.
Probably hot enough down there already.
I know there's a lot of people disappointed that I didn't have a meltdown.
It's like a NASCAR wreck. We're all waiting for it.
Yeah. You don't like to see it, but you like to see it.
Yeah.
So Sean, let me destroy your last name. Sean Mathies. Mathies?
I'm going to have to give you $50, Ken, towards the
Is
collection.
that right?
That's awesome. That's good.
Wow. Okay, great. All right. I mean, anytime you have an S next to a Z, I get, well, yeah. So you are in what part of Australia?
I'm in Victoria, which is the state, and then in Melbourne, so quite pretty much central Victoria or city.
Okay.
So quite south.
All right. And I'll just show your channel very quickly. This is the Drones Down Under podcast channel, and they have 419 subscribers right now. Let's go ahead and get them over 500. What do you say, gang? Let's try to do that.
That'll
right
be very
now.
useful.
Yeah, there you go. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what your place in our wonderful community is.
Yeah, so I guess we started the podcast Drones Down Under back in 2021. And my co-host Danny and myself, we followed yourself and Ken and so forth probably the last 5-6 years. There's really not much Australian content. So everything has come out of the US for us. And we just decided to kind of create our own thing. So that's where that started from. And it's really about growing the Australian industry in relation to drones and also, working collaboratively with other teams like yourself. So, first reach out to the US and hopefully it keeps growing from here.
Sure. Do you find it difficult to be a drone pilot in Australia with CASA and all that stuff? And my second part of my question, is FPV really illegal there?
Well, the law, as far as FPV, the two-part question. So the FPV side of things, if you are part of a model club, it's probably a lot easier to fly.
Mm-hmm.
So there's quite a few clubs you can join and fly. And I think with DJI releasing the FPV and obviously the Avata, probably a lot easier to get into things rather than the traditional FPV, as you well know, whether it's a 5-inch or 4-inch, whatever it may be. But yeah, technically it's illegal, and it's called out very much in that way. Flying drones, I think we're very much aligned. CASA's your FAA, Civil Aviation Safety Authority in Australia. It's very much aligned to how FAA, so we tend to follow what you guys tend to do. I'm sure remote ID is going to be a topic we'll be talking about in the next few months. I think we'll be quite interested to hear how you guys are going about it as well.
Yeah, will you have a period where you can, as a community, voice your opinion about that, or are they just going to say, well, the U.S. did it, let's do it?
They tend to go to the commercial side of operations to find out what our thoughts are. They have got better at consulting. Whether that's counted as much, we'll wait and see, right? So it depends what's. But myself, I am full-time as far as involved in the drone industry. You can probably see over my shoulder there, it's a DJI M350. So we're currently testing those. So we invested heavily on the enterprise side of things. We do a lot of survey and mapping type projects. But I know just before I got on, you were talking about DJI and how you guys are dealing with it. We got the same challenges where people are now asking, what are your other options other than DJI, which is quite thin.
Yeah. By the way, if anybody has any questions for Sean, go ahead and put them in the chat. How are you going to deal with that? What are they talking about doing? Because I know remote ID is going to be a thing probably there soon.
I don't know much about remote ID, and I think for us it's very early days. It's whatever you guys are talking about is what we really know.
My apologies. Cause, if CASA is following the FAA, my apologies. Right?
Well, I think there's a need. This is my personal view. If you're kind of saying DJI are looking at what's going on with drones, I don't know how remote ID is going to help, because you're basically telling what everyone's doing anyway. So whether it's wrong or right, where the positional information is. So, I'm confused. This is just me talking out loud. It's early days for myself.
Right.
So,
yeah. One of the things I don't like about all this, it seems like the FAA is putting a speed bump in here for all of us intentionally, and everybody's tripping over themselves, and everybody has opinions. But who they're really hurting is the casual drone user, like hobbyists and kids, especially kids. I don't know how you got into drones and aviation, but there's a lot of kids that are learning. There's programs in schools. I'm sure you're involved in that, as I am. I speak in schools sometimes about aviation and drones. But I don't want that to stop. I don't want people to be turned away by all of the rumors and all these new things that are happening regulation-wise. I'm sure you agree with that.
That's a good point, and I think that's part of why we created the podcast. It was to really try and educate people, certainly down under in Australia, and I think the more information people have, they're more likely to get into the industry or know. But, like you guys, we can walk in a retail store, buy a Mavic 3, buy a Mini 3, and really there's a little card that you get called from Know Your Drone, which is a CASA initiative about safety. But it's things like don't fly above 120 meters or 400 feet, don't fly above people. So basic things, do's and don'ts. And I think our job is really about educating the general public and showcasing things that you shouldn't be doing. As a commercial operator, we take safety very seriously, because last thing you want is something 9 kilos falling over somebody, and then we've got real issues to deal with. So
that's true. Yeah, it's all about safety. Unfortunately, and I'm sure Ken agrees, not everybody has common sense, but governmental agencies will try to regulate some common sense, and that's very often unsuccessful, because some people are just going to be bad actors and dumbasses, and that's just how it is. Ken, your thoughts? You look like you have.
Yeah, I mean, when you design a regulation, you're not designing it typically for the general public. You're designing it for the idiots. Right. Just like when I design a product, I design a product around somebody that's probably going to break it, or I always design it for the exception, right?
Right.
Because the rule is always going to do exactly what you would expect it to do. So when you design these things, you design them for the exceptions, which is unfortunate, because it's not fair to those that do, follow or just operate, respectfully, or in a responsible manner that's not going to lead to negatory press, or it sucks.
Yeah,
it sucks.
People want to fly responsibly. And this is why we have those stick figures on soda machines that are going like this. It's not for you that don't shake the soda machine, it could fall on you. It's for the dumbasses, like, hey man, where's my soda? Oh wait, that stick figure looks like he's in danger. I better not do this. It's for the dumbasses.
Right. Rules are always for the exception and the idiots, unfortunately. And like I said, unfortunately, people that suffer the most are the ones that have common sense. But yeah, it's a weird world right now. It is.
Let me just go ahead and check here on your, let's see how many subscribers you got now. Let's see how much I can influence people. So from 419 to 454. That's not bad. That's
awesome.
Not bad at all. Very good. So you for a living, you have a company called Air Inspect.
Yeah, so the company started about 5 years ago in Queensland, which is a little bit further north on the east side of Australia, a little bit warmer than Melbourne, where I am. It's actually our winter at the moment, so it's fairly cold, and we don't get a lot of work done at the moment because it's raining or it's high winds, so it's creates us lots of challenges. We started out about 5 years ago, and I think from our perspective, we started doing creative work, taking real estate photos, and I thought this is going to be a retirement plan, and very quickly worked out it's a red ocean of doesn't lead to very much.
Right.
So very quickly, I think within about 6 to 12 months, we started looking at things like inspection type work, photogrammetry, and this is where we kind of had to go to YouTube, because there's really nothing in the way of how you go about these things. So that's kind of where we specialize in. We do inspections using photogrammetry or LiDAR payloads, and then we do our own processing. So we don't tend to use the likes of, say, a Drone Deploy or a Pix 4D, which we have nothing against, but I don't think we could have developed our skills had we actually continued using those platforms.
Right.
So we use our own software, which is by Bentley. So we process the data ourselves, and that way we learn how to develop the data acquisition techniques, because I think those sorts of cloud services, it's very, very hard to fine-tune your skills because it's essentially a black box. So there wasn't a whole lot on YouTube 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ken.
No, I'm sorry. There's a bit of a delay here. I was just going to ask how you got started. I know there's a lot of people watching who are like, I don't want to do real estate, but there's so many opportunities for drones right now with photogrammetry and inspection work. And I've been asked a lot, and I really don't have an answer most of the time. Like, people ask me, can I do these things with my Mavic 3? You know.
Yes. Okay.
They ask me what kind of equipment they need for the job. How did you start? What kind of equipment did you start with?
With a Phantom 4 Pro, actually.
Oh, okay.
So, yep. So, for us, it's a couple of $1,000 Australian dollars. We then went into a Phantom 4 RTK, and we can have a deeper chat about RTK, but you can essentially use a third-party software like Pix4D Capture, which is free, and you can use your Mini 3s, or you can use your Phantom 4s, or obviously your Mavic 3s, so all consumer drones, and use your free software. Now, the techniques to fly are the things that you need to pay attention to, like your overlaps, your speed you're flying, your height you're flying, your GSD, so your ground sampling distance, which is your quality of what you're flying and how you're capturing it. But all these things we've had to learn over and over and develop, and we're still learning. And I'll share a little bit about what we're doing throughout the interview, just so people can look at what the opportunities are. So our focus is really not about the drone. It's a tool. It's about what we can do with the drone and that data that the drone gets. So whether it's from ground camera or drone, we look at what can we actually give our customers. So I think that's where it's taken a lot of time. It's been a lot of free work so we can actually develop our skills and then use the tools that we can afford, right? So like you said, you're not going to go buy a M300 or M350 to start out, but not everyone can afford those things.
Right.
So I would look at your Mini 3s, your Mavic 3s, or your Phantoms. Look at a free capture software that'll actually allow you to practice, and maybe go to a local park and just use your oval, pick your coordinates, your four corners, and just fly and make sure no one's obviously around there.
Then you get some customers, and then you work your way up, and then maybe you can upgrade your equipment. Because I know, like, you can do visual inspections with any old drone. Like if there's people that want to look at their crops from above, I mean, you can do that. I've done that. But then you can get specialized into getting like FLIR attachments and all these other things that are on more expensive drones. And then, but if somebody's just starting out, I wouldn't recommend getting all that stuff all at once, right? Just work your way up, because you don't know how many customers you're going to have to recoup that money for your initial cost.
Yeah. And like you just said, my recommendation is find someone who does have the equipment, reach out to them, whether it's on Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever it may be, and pay them a fee, rent it from them initially, so they can actually, they're getting some money back as well. So, and you're not having to invest heavily to learn. Like you said, you start with your consumer drones and then move on to something like a Mavic 3 Enterprise, or which I'm not sure if you can see it. Just one sec.
Oh, look at that.
Got all the toys.
That's RTK?
Just a few. Yeah, so that guy there, that's a Mavic 3 Enterprise, and it's got the RTK receiver up there as well.
For people that don't know what RTK is.
That's the thermal, is that the that's got the
Enterprise.
Okay, that's the E.
Yeah. Okay, so the RTK is real-time kinematic, and what that means is the little hat that's on top is actually talking to a base station or to an entry server. So I'll go with what a base station is another piece of equipment that's correcting your position. So think about your mobile phone, it's normally about 3 meters or 5 meters where it thinks you are, whereas RTK is probably about 30 centimeters. So it's, sorry, my feet and inches are very...
Yeah, don't bother. We get it. You don't have to convert.
Yeah. So it's going to be much more accurate, right? So, so base station is another piece of equipment. DJI, there's a piece of equipment called DRTK2 that allows you to actually do all that connectivity. If you don't need that piece of equipment, you can use what they call an Entrip server or a cores network, and that's completely free. And that's depending on your state. I'm sure there are services that your geoscience guys will actually have that you can just join up and use it.
There's a lot of information that you have. If people are interested in this and they want to ask you some questions, can they reach out to you?
Yeah, most definitely. Podcast is the best way. I think there's a contact email address on there. And Danny and myself, this is what we do every day in, day out. We're learning, developing our skills, trying to look at more efficient ways of achieving what we're trying to do. And the next challenge is, as you guys would know, would be large acreage. So if you've got vegetation or large trees, you can't really do photogrammetry. So that's where LiDAR comes in. And there is a lot of work. It doesn't matter whether you're in Australia, US, or any other country. People, you don't want to be walking 100 acres, 200 acres, 1,000 acres.
Not in Australia.
Much more. Not in Australia.
Yeah,
you know,
that's a good place to die.
I think I'd chase kangaroos with FPV drones, right?
So,
it's much more fun.
I got to ask you, because you're talking through all this and it's super in depth, and I'm familiar with mapping and seeing like smaller acreages and cleared lands, and I sort of understand like the pricing structure here. What's typical like workflow, like time frame of client hires you to get them their product delivery? And just in comparison, like, like I know here, I mean, we're like a week out or more when it comes to mapping or photogrammetry back to a client. So like, what's your typical workflow for that? Like, how long does it take you to get the information back to your clients?
Yes, look, I guess for us, deploying the site's pretty quick because we've got a fair bit of equipment available to us. So we can get what we call the data acquisition side of things can be done quickly. I mean, we've got sites anything from 100 acres through to 1,200, 1,300 acres, which could take us multiple days. But sometimes we might fly 200 or 300 at the same time, different pilots, obviously, so we can get it done quicker. So if something takes us 3 days, we might reduce that time by flying different drones. The processing side, this is where whether it's a drone deploy or a Pix4D, we use Bentley context capture, which is why it's run in-house. It depends on the hardware, right? So again, our commitment's usually 2 to 3 weeks to the customer.
All right.
Where the opportunity lies, I think, for pilots is what we're saying to people is learn how to do the processing yourself, because you're actually giving up money by simply flying. As you know, I'm sure in the US, just like in Australia, there's lots of services that say there's 5,000 pilots and there's 10,000 pilots, and they put out the job and say, for $50, we'll pay you $50 and go fly a drone. And it's probably, you might as well just go do real estate work. What we're saying is own the whole process. It takes time to build, obviously, but fly a drone, process the data, whether you start using cloud services or your own when you can afford it. But the next step is visualization. So traditional surveyors don't actually offer that. They just hand over drawing files or digital files. There's no way to actually see those things online. So again, there's more revenue that you can make and educate, but yes, this stuff takes time to learn.
There was a kerfuffle with surveyors here in this country when...
Oh, yes, there was.
When we first started doing this drone mapping stuff. How did that shake out there, Ken? You know how that shook out?
I think it's sort of like a state by state, county by county. There's nothing they can do. Like the reality is the problem there was a squabble over who can certify that data, who's certifying the information when it comes to measurements. And I think realistically, the biggest issue with that is when it comes to like GIS, it's not actually on people doing the mapping. They don't really have a problem with that. It's like, let's say you have a real estate agent selling a parcel and they tell somebody, hey, I want you to go take a photo of this vacant land. And oh, by the way, I want GIS outlines. Well, when you're guesstimating something from there, you have no way of knowing how accurate your property lines are. And then you give somebody that information and it may be accurate, it may be not. So somebody could be purchasing that property based upon that information you've given them. And if it's misrepresented, what was happening was like, you as the photographer or whatever was then responsible. And it was just a big shit show. Yeah. I usually push back. I don't add lines to anything unless they ask me.
Well, and not to mention the fact that there was some semantics going on because the surveyors claimed that the drone mapping was actually surveying, and they had to be in a union and all this other stuff. Are you having a similar issue in Australia with that kind of thing? And how do you deal with it?
Yeah, so the best way to do it is go talk to a local surveyor, partner with the surveyor. Because we don't have the insurance, the indemnity insurance. Obviously, we're drone pilots, and we're seen as a lesser evil compared to the surveyors who know more, like the engineering teams.
Right.
What I recommend you do is, I know Ken just touched on the accuracy. So ground controls, you've probably seen targets you put on the ground to improve your accuracy. Get the surveyors to do that for you and get them to certify it so it's independent of you flying your drone.
So you'd be like a contractor for them.
Yeah, so you can bundle it in your price offering, or the surveyor might come to you, which happens with us, and say, can you fly the drone for us, because we don't want to walk through thick bush or the snakes and whatever might be around. So I think the best way to do is partner, because I think the survey companies aren't going to go and build a drone organization within their companies. They just don't have the expertise. They don't have the compliance, the paperwork. I'm sure the FAA regulates, and so does CASA. They may try, some of the larger ones may try, but it's like us trying to be a survey company. It's not going to happen anytime soon. You've got to invest in people, got to invest in equipment. No. So it's just trying to find like-minded people. If you're a single-man operator, find a single-man surveyor. Have a coffee with them and ask them, let's try and pick a couple of sites. Go do it for free. Learn from it. So that's how we started.
Yeah, it's about networking and learning and getting with other people that can help you. Just a couple more things before we let you go. One, just a personal question. Have you, on any of your excursions out into the field or the bush or have you run into Australian rednecks that want to shoot you down?
They wouldn't. I don't think they call them rednecks. Would they be Aborigine? What do they call
there's rednecks. There's rednecks the world over.
We don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys have significantly less guns in that country. So maybe
I think there are people with guns, but not as bad as you guys. Not personally. No, we don't have. I haven't been. But I know someone who did tell me a story that they did shoot one of the drones while they were actually trying to do a job. Oh. But again, I think for us, what I reckon the best thing to do is wear your PPE gear, bright vests, be professional. Don't turn up in shorts and runners and all those sorts of things.
Right.
And these are the types of stuff we cover. Like it's really about, if you're doing a professional job and you're charging money for it, look the part.
Right. Don't wear a wife beater, Right. Yeah. And always open carry a boomerang so, they know not to mess with you.
In case a kangaroo comes towards you.
You got to conceal carry boomerangs. You can't open carry them. Got to conceal carry.
I apologize. We're generalizing, but it's hilarious. So let's touch on very quick before we let you go. The ACUO that you're involved with. You want to touch on that a little bit?
Yeah. So that's a not-for-profit body, just like they're essentially there to represent pilots and do education about safety and what's coming in as far as regulations. So definitely a little bit out of date there, because those photos a little bit old, but there'll be a brand new site being released. It's there to help commercial pilots, essentially, single-man operators where they don't have a voice. We actually put all the points together and talk to CASA about specific topics if it's actually causing us a problem, like remote ID. If you and I and both Ken's and I start having a problem with it, no one's probably going to listen to us. However, if there's 500-600 pilots saying the same thing, they're probably more likely to listen. So that's what Accio do.
Okay, wonderful. Well, I know it's you're 15 hours ahead, so it's Friday for you already. What time is it there?
20 past 11 a.m.
A.m. Okay, so grab a lottery ticket. Tell me the numbers, and we'll cash in. Because I need tomorrow's lottery numbers. Yeah, if only that was possible. Thank you so much. I look forward to being on your podcast.
Looking forward to it.
And let me just check one more time here. Last we left, it was 454 subscribers. Let me go ahead and reload. And now you have 463 subscribers. Yeah, the power of Ken Heron. All right. Awesome. Thanks, man.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Take it easy. We'll see you.
Take it easy.
All right. How about that guy?
Lots of information.
Lots of information.
Good
Man,
information.
That is good information.
Do you want to live in Australia? Would you live there?
I would, actually. I tried to get a radio job there once.
I feel like I live in Australia, in Florida. Like, there's a lot of things that can kill you down here.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty much, I should just move to Australia at this point.
It's the whole driving on the wrong side of the road thing. I can't get
Yeah,
behind.
I don't know. I mean, I do that now. I drive a Jeep. I mean, sometimes you let go of the wheel, you're already on the other side of the road. So I'm already halfway there.
That's true. That's true.
So it's true.
Well, I have to get to some viewer videos.
Okay.
But first, I think we should take a dip in the Raz. Don't you?
Do you want to do it?
Let's hop
do
in
it.
there. It's been a while since you and I have been in the Raz chamber.
What's the temperature? What's the temp in this thing?
The temperature is 12 degrees Celsius. I think that's good. I'm not sure. It could be cold.
I don't know.
Who knows? But
We'd have to ask Sean. They operate in that.
it's a wonderful place to be. With like a little 7th-inning stretch here. Nothing goes wrong. Everything is happy. All your bills are paid. That boil is popped. Everything is good.
So good.
That herpes sore cleared up. Your
Yep,
wife
all
didn't
gone.
leave you. Everything is good here in the Raz chamber. There is one rule only. Ken, what is that suggestion?
You have to
/ rule?
refrain from flagellants.
Please do not fart in the Raz. Now enjoy. 107 drones? Barkley? What? You should know better, Barkley. Barkley farted in the Raz.
Damn, Barkley.
What?
So I have an amendment to make.
Oh, what
it's
is it?
actually
Yeah.
Barkley providing me the jokes. I thought it was Jimmy. You know, I read it incorrectly.
Yeah.
I apologize, Barkley.
You read the joke incorrectly?
No, it's him. He's my joke writer tonight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
Barkley.
pulling double duty. Yeah.
Well, good for him. Good.
Go way back.
Good for him. All right. So, by the way, if you want to send in a video, you can do that. Been a little lean on the videos, but I'm still taking.
What's happening? What's happening with that?
I don't know. Maybe new pilots are being scared away by something. I can't imagine what it would be. I don't know. What it is. But anyway, you can send your. This Ken. Ken is like, what's up there? Is that Elvis? I don't know. Ken Heron Upload at gmail.com. Let me know your music source, because if you put Madonna's Into the Groove in there, then YouTube will get its panties in a wad and then they'll get upset. So use Epidemic Sound. Production music, free trial links in the description. You can get 30 days free music and hundreds of thousands of sound effects, and they add them all the time. Epidemic, because everything else is crap. That's right. All right. So, Ken, you doing all right? You not tired?
Yeah,
Everything
I'm good.
All right.
I'm good.
So this is from Dennis. Dennis had a crash.
Uh-oh.
He says, hopefully I'm not too late to make volume 10 of my crash videos, which is coming up probably after Minefield. I just purchased the GoPro 11 Mini.
Oh, man.
And was testing its awesomeness. And I wanted to try turning it around backwards so I could see myself in flight. Well, shortly after I took off, only 100 yards from where I went, I lost connection, and this is what happened.
Oh, boy.
Mm-hmm. That's an interesting way of mounting the camera.
Yeah, I was just going to comment on that.
Yeah.
I mean...
Why not?
Okay.
Sure.
Why not?
Uh-oh.
Sure.
Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, the humanity. Oh, no.
Yeah. Does it make it more exciting that it was mounted in the rear?
Yes.
I think it was more exciting because you just see the moment where it's like, you're going to go down.
You know what? Everything's more exciting when you mount in the rear. Thank you very much. I'm here all week. Folks. Tip your waitress. Try the veal. All right.
I'll keep lining them up. You keep knocking them down.
I can't turn the morning show off. Again,
I know. It's just like, it's something else.
If you want to enjoy my morning radio program, and I know you do because, radio is the latest and greatest thing, millennials. Please put a caster link, someone in the description. You can listen tomorrow morning. And it's always fun on Fridays because I'm super tired after doing this. How about another FPV video?
Let's do it.
All right. This is a tower dive. And he says, "What's up, Ken? Kobe here on a trip back from San Francisco. Took a break from driving and flew this tall tower with my kid." And isn't this what it's all about? Getting the youngsters involved in this?
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Going for a ride on a tower today. Wish me luck.
Ken, how many kids you got, Ken?
3 and counting.
Yeah. You put goggles on them, take them for rides like this?
Yeah, my oldest one a few times. The middle one, she's starting to get into it.
Oh,
the
really?
youngest one, she's still too little.
Oh, okay.
But they love it.
It's got to be fun for a kid to see this stuff for the first time.
It is. It's it gets them out of the house.
Right.
Nowadays, they're iPad kids, I call them.
Right. So don't take the screens out of their hands and put them on their face. That's what I say. You be a good parent. Put the screens on their face. But to get them outside to breathe some fresh air.
Pretty wild dive. Really nice control too.
Listen to what she says.
Woo. How was it? Was it fun? You want to go again?
Want to go again? No. I think she's a little woozy from that. Thank you, Kobe, for sending that in.
Nice.
Yeah. Let's see. Did I miss any super chats? I hope not.
I think Shutter Speed Ireland hit you with one euro $5.
Okay, thank you very much. And people are gifting memberships as well, which is something you can do. You can go to where that link is and click on the 3 dots and gift it, and then YouTube will be like, one for you, one for you, one for you. And that's how that goes. Thank you, everybody, for your generosity. I know times are tough, but keeping this channel going is, well, it means a lot to me, and I appreciate it. Shutter Speed Iron, thank you very much. Hey, do you want to see a flea market fire, or do you want to see some cool buildings in Germany, Ken? It's up to you, Ken. You decide.
We can see the cool buildings whenever, but fire is sort of right now.
Okay.
Let's see a fire. Let's see a flea market fire. Let's see a fire sale.
Fire sale. Yeah, I think this is post fire footage. Not actual.
Well, I wish you would have told me. I wish you would have told me that. This is the depressing part.
Yeah, I know, but it's good drone footage anyway.
It is good drone footage.
And a great username. This is from Droner Boner.
Droner Boner.
Yeah.
How does he only have 13 subscribers?
I don't know. I don't know.
Boner?
And who wouldn't want to, like, if you're a news agency, who wouldn't want to buy Droner Boner footage of a tragic event?
I mean, who wouldn't want to get your viewers hard?
Right? They're like, hey, the news crew is like, hey, we got some drone aerial footage of this disaster. Yeah, who got it? It was Droner Boner. No, Droner Boner. Write the check to Droner Boner Inc. It's a great name. Maybe not such a great name for business.
Wow, that was a heck of a fire, man.
Yeah, that was a good fire.
Burned the whole shit down.
But that was Green Acres Flea Market on Alcoa Highway in Tennessee. Thank you for sending that in. Droner Boner! Oh, wait, I got to have a sound effect for Droner Boner.
You need something better.
Yeah.
Thank you. Have like a spring to it.
Thank you, Droner Boner. All right. That's your official sound effect. Feel free to use that. You want to go to Germany or do you want to see somebody FPV chasing a mosquito sprayer guy?
Let's go to Germany.
Yeah, let's go to Germany. I think if you passed on Germany twice, it might hurt somebody's feelings.
Yeah, we got to go to Germany.
Good call, Ken. Good call. But this is from our buddy Sven. Sven. Everybody loves Sven.
Who doesn't love a Sven?
Yeah. Now, there's a bunch of names here that he put in here. And whenever he writes me an email, he knows I can't pronounce foreign cities and names and things.
But that's always fun, though.
Should I give it a go?
Give it a go. Let's hear it.
All right. Hey, Ken, last week I visited my mom in Magdeburg. Sure, that sounds right. We decided to go to a small castle in a tiny village called Schnangberg. Why?
Schlongberg?
No, not Schlongberg. It's got an umlaut over the O. I don't know. It's Schnonberg. I'll go with that.
Schnonberg. Okay.
Like the castle, which is called... He's doing this on purpose. Bergschnonberg. Bergschlongberg Castle. Located in a county called... Why are you doing this to me?
I feel like you need to, like, before you type this out, you should run it through Google for the pronunciation.
I do that on people's names.
Yeah,
I wanted to make sure I got Sean
it can get it wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
Snotberg.
Okay.
I don't know if that's right either.
Okay, so this is in a county called... Oh my God, it's got like 20...
Try. Sound it out, Ken.
All right. Bergenlandkreis. Bergenlandkreis.
You got
Right, it's probably got some of that.
Which means really get it in there.
Which means county of castles. I think it contains a typical German landscape, also typical German houses. This was taken with a Mini 3 and Epidemic was used. So
okay, let's see the.
Thank goodness. All right, and he's speaking the language correctly.
Wreck, just so we're clear.
Ja, heute begrüße ich euch hier im Schloss Schönburg. Ja, viel Spaß bei einem kleinen Rundflug über die Burg. Hier kann man auch den Turm noch besichtigen. Da werden wir jetzt auch gleich nochmal hochgehen. Ja, Wetter ist top. Was will man mehr? Viel Spaß mit dem Video.
Okay, that's how I thought it was pronounced.
I mean, I was right there with you.
Yeah, right, Ken? Right? Yeah. Flurgandy glurgandy. I'm sorry, Sven. This is beautiful.
Sorry.
This is beautiful.
Beautiful scenery. Beautiful scenery.
Yes.
Gorgeous. Makes up for us can't pronounce anything.
Absolutely. You know, one day I'm going to visit Schlong Castle. Hey, can you tell me how to get to Schlongberg?
Are you going to take Schlonger Express?
Yeah, you make a left at Flurgenglurg and then go right down when you see, if you see the Glurgity Flurg, you've gone too far.
This is why people don't like us.
I know, right? You smug Americans. That's what they're saying. Yeah.
That was beautiful
that
place.
That was great. Thank you very much.
Glad we went there. I'm glad we went there.
So glad. Thank you, Sven. He is a really nice guy.
He is really super nice.
And you know what I did? I've never mentioned this before. He's got a daughter. His daughter, I forget her name. It's probably something like Erky Flurg, but I am so sorry. I'm fucking dumb. Anyway, he's got a daughter who is a fan of a certain band and wanted to get vinyl, like colored vinyl.
Yeah.
They only sold at Target here. And
really?
so I bought this vinyl record and sent it to Germany so she could have it.
Oh, wow. That's nice of you.
Yeah.
You're a nice guy. And people don't think, people think you're an asshole, but you're a nice guy.
No, I'm not. No. And I hope that little Ergity Flurg is good. I hope she really has a good time with that record. All right. So now let's go with Raymond Sharp. He says, "Hey Ken, here's a link to my video, Sights and Sound of Summer in Arkansas. Although this could be the same sights and sounds of many areas in the South, this was filmed in Harrisburg, Arkansas, using the Avata. You dub best, Ken. All right. This is him following a mosquito truck. I like the sound design because there's no audio from.
Yeah, that's actually sharp, man. That's nice.
People forget, just no music. It's just the
little
audio.
Things, man. This is smooth.
It really is. And who would have thought, like, Hey, you know what? I'm going to follow that mosquito truck.
I know.
That's a great idea.
Missing all the line. This is really smooth, man. Oh, look at this. He's even utilizing the tilt.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a great thing about the Avata. It really encourages people.
That's versatile, man. Look at this. This is good.
Yeah. Now, would you have flown through the mist, Ken?
I don't know if I would have. I mean, if it guarantees me like immunity for future, mosquito things, maybe.
Like your Avata will never be bitten by a mosquito ever again.
No, you'll never get bitten. It'll never bother you again.
Yeah. But it wouldn't be
man.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the same without the audio, right?
The audio is making it. It's
really
almost
is.
like, we got nothing going on here in old Arkansas. Let me go ahead and chase this mosquito truck here. Oh,
right. Yeah.
That's really clever. That was nice.
A lot of people might throw a music bed on there, but just having the sounds, like even if...
I didn't realize Epidemic had mosquito truck sound. That's awesome. Good for Epidemic.
Oh, yeah.
We got everything.
They have all... You know what?
Good folly. Good folly.
Let's go to Epidemic.
Yeah, do they have mosquito?
Look at this. They got a whole
sounds?
thing, sound effects, right?
Yeah, bug truck.
How the hell do you spell mosquito?
Mosquito?
I put skeeter in. You're not going to find skeeter.
Look
at all this mosquito stuff. Mosquito fly. Look at this. It's endless. Mosquitoes. Any kind of. Look at this.
Can you play mosquito suck? I want to just hear.
Mosquito suck. Yeah, let's hear that. Oh, that's terrible.
God. Could you imagine the tiny microphone that had to record that?
Yeah. All right. That was good.
Do it again.
Do the suck one more time.
What do you do for a living? I record mosquito sucking.
Look at this. It's endless. You got big mosquito, medium mosquito. That is Epidemic sound for you right there, man. Link in the description. Sound effects, music, boom.
Covered.
All right.
Off the rails. You're getting quite a few super chats there during the video montage. You immediately go up to the top here, Ken.
Oh, okay. Let me see here. After Shutter Speed Ireland, I think that's where we left off. Keep it up, Ken. Jen Barnett. Who's that? She looks really pretty. I bet she's a good kisser.
How do you know?
I kiss her quite often. That's my girlfriend.
That's her girlfriend?
Yeah.
Jen Barnett?
Yeah, Jen. Yeah. She'll be in the Discord afterwards, by the way, if somebody wants to put a link. Hopefully she'll be there. She's usually in there. Thanks for the $2. I'm worth $2. Huh?
Is that like the weekly toll? And then
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. You're a cheap date.
Yeah. She's my sugar mama,
Okay.
Yeah. And we got plenty from Ben T. Thank you, Ben.
Hey.
Very good show tonight, Ken's. Thank you, Ben. And let's see. New member, Chucking FPV. That's a great name. Chuck King FPV.
Chuck King FPV. Man, that rhymes.
How do you think he says it? Do you think he says Chucking? No, because the K in King is capitalized, so it's
Chucking.
Chuck King.
Chucking.
Chuck King.
Chucking. It could go either way. It could go either way.
Right. You know what would be, if his name is Chuck King, right?
Yeah.
You know what would be a great name for a channel? If he's in FPV?
Yeah.
And he flies things up Chuck King.
Up Chuck King.
Yeah, in which case, I would have a sound effect. If you change your name to Up Chuck King, that's your sound effect. And thank you very much for becoming a member.
The fact that you even have that like so readily on demand, you just have all the switches.
Well, that's I do a morning show, and so I need all those.
No, I know.
Yeah.
You've only told me like 5 times during this broadcast that you do a morning show.
Hey, Ken.
By the way, did you know Ken has a morning show?
Ken,
link in the description below.
Bring your head over here. Over here, next to my fist here. I'm just going to go. Yeah. There we go. All right. That's a good one. I like that one. Evil Eye Gaming D, $5. Thank you very much. YouTube have their panties in a bunch all the time. Ken, may you send new pairs to them. Yes. They very often have their panties in a wad and they clutch their pearls. YouTube will get the vipers. Don't use the copyrighted music. They will get the vipers.
I never understood the whole copyright thing, and then they just take all your monies. You just provide the music for like 15, 30 seconds, but we're going to take all your monies.
You know what? That is absolutely true. And, you know, I'm kind of careful about what I'm putting out on these streams, but I've been getting notices from streams 100 streams ago.
I got one last week, and they won't let me they won't let me unprivate the stream, and I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
And I was trying to think like what, and I think there was like 2 seconds or like maybe it was like 15 seconds of like a clip I played
from something.
And it will not let me unprivate it, and I'm just like, all right, screw it. I'm just gonna let it go.
But for like a 3-hour stream, if you play 10 seconds of Led Zeppelin, then Led Zeppelin gets all the revenue from that. Not the super chats, but they get all the other stuff, which is just not fair.
I did see something interesting the other day that there was a gentleman. He has made a fortune copyright striking, like not copyright striking, but filing claims, making false claims on channels and reaping revenue off of hundreds of thousands of channels across YouTube. And he never produced any of the songs. And somehow this just sort of went undetected for a while. And then finally the IRS caught up with the guy. And he never owned any of the music, but he's made millions just filing false copyright claims, which I thought was interesting that they would even let it get that far.
You don't want the IRS on your ass.
You do not. No.
You think the FAA is scary? Oh my goodness.
That's a 3-letter word I can see. I would love to see go away. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I would.
Yeah. I don't have media insurance, so I disagree or not agree. Who knows? By the way, Ken, and quick question for all our viewers. Has anybody else gotten their content stolen by TikTok? Because my cop pulled over by a cop video was stolen and re-uploaded. And I think part of that is when you're uploading your stuff and you click, it's okay to remix or whatever. I think that's the green light for people to steal your stuff. You know, when you're uploading, you click, it's okay for people to
That's
remix
what we were talking about the other day.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that. I discovered that a few weeks ago that you can remix stuff. I also discovered that my videos have been uploading that my language is in Spanish. You helped me with that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So good. We fixed that.
Yeah. But,
¿Cómo está?
But how do we get TikTok to stop stealing?
I don't know. TikTok's a weird animal, man. I feel like we're too overly we have too big of a digital footprint now. Do we really need all these social media platforms? Like, what benefit does TikTok offer us? Now that I think about it, TikTok, when you think about it in terms of currency, it's and this may seem offensive to some, but it's very realistic. It is the peso of social media, because you get all these views, but these views don't really mean jack shit. It's the peso of social media.
Well, that's like Facebook views. You get a view even if you hover your mouse over the video.
Yeah,
that's a view.
It doesn't mean anything. It's not real.
Right. But where else are we going to get 15-year-olds making funny faces into their phone with giant eyelashes on or whatever they're doing? TikTok is for people with no attention span.
Yeah, I mean, I made the mistake. I've gone down rabbit holes on TikTok.
Yeah.
If you watch one inappropriate thing, did you know TikTok immediately serves that up over and over again? And then if you watch 2 inappropriate things, they just keep giving it back to you. So, I mean, periodically I'll open it up and then it's something inappropriate.
Like what do you deem inappropriate?
Like, I stumbled across this thing called the Bunny Challenge. Now, the Bunny Challenge has nothing to do with a rabbit, Ken. And I don't encourage you to search for that. But if you do search for that, you may be okay with that.
I was working at a rock radio station in 2012, and we gave away rabbits on Easter.
Really?
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We gave away rabbits.
That had to be, I was going to say that before I really connected the dots, I was going to say that could have been expensive, but no, that is very expensive.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And dishwasher safe. Okay, all right.
Off the rails.
Okay, yeah. All right. Did I thank Evil Eye Gaming D? Thank you very much. Matt Bugby, Aerial Reviews, $10.
Yeah.
Great show, great guest tonight, Ken's. Thank you, Matt. The Drone Dad, $5. Thank you. Great show, guys. I'd love to be a co-host one week. Give me the chance, Ken. Well, yeah, email me. Email me, Drone Dad. You got my email. Ken Torbeck, $5. Ken, can you ask Jennifer if I can borrow a dress for my interview with Dobo as a co-host? No. Not put the kibosh on that, Ken. But I like your creativity.
We've already selected. I've made a selection in that. We're going to announce that next week. We've reached an agreement.
Oh, did we talk about this on the stream or no?
We talked about that, but we're going to announce it. We're going to announce it next Wednesday.
Okay. And by the way, all these people who are new members, all 2 of them, you now have access to the bonus content that we recorded. And we had quite the discussion about artificial intelligence.
Yes. That was a fun pre-show. If you're not a member, you should become a member, because that was actually it's a very scary conversation too. Because as you start watching it, I don't want to give too much away.
It was scary, terrifying, awesome though. It was awesome too, you know? Like I kind of weep for the next generation because they're going to be all et up with AI. But anyway, do become a member, even if it's only for a day, so you can see the video we just recorded. Become a member, watch the video, then.
I still think you need to take that idea of what I suggested for the morning show.
Oh, that is a good idea.
Have people call in.
And if you're wondering what he's talking about, you'll find out in the bonus content.
Yeah, you got to find out.
Yeah.
You'll have to find out my suggestion.
And Caleb Orr, $4.99. Making my girlfriend learn to fly drones. If she crashes the Mini 2, I have a 3 Pro on standby. That's good. Involve your significant other. You know, that's, when you share something in common, like a hobby or something, your relationship becomes even stronger. Right.
I've tried to get my wife to fly.
And?
She's just not interested in it.
Does she have hobbies? What are her hobbies?
She doesn't have hobbies. She just likes watching like Bravo and shit. Trust me, it's going to become an issue soon.
I think she does have a hobby, and that is creating children. Isn't that her hobby?
That's a byproduct of a hobby. That's a byproduct of a hobby.
Yes, it's something you can do together.
Yeah, but I mean, at some point, do you really want to be 75 years old?
Oh,
thinking about I'd rather be flying drones at 75, or I don't know. Oh, I don't know.
Good point.
You're flying FPV, you can't see your drone. Like, there comes a time where it's just you got to think about the future, Ken.
You're right. Instead of just flying by the seat of your pants willy-nilly like me.
It's fine. My next wife, we're going to really rethink this. We're going to do this all over again.
Yeah. The current wife knows she's just a practice wife, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that'll last long. Paul.
How do we say that?
Slathog. I was going to say sweat hog, but nobody's old enough to remember what those are. Paul Slathog.
Because we have a problem with SL, like anything that begins with SL or sloth.
Well, I mean, if you put too many vowels next to each other, that's going to trip me up.
Too many vowels.
Okay, so Slathog.
Barkley said 5 seconds isn't much of a hobby.
Damn, Barkley.
Damn, he's coming with the fire.
Mark.
Jesus.
Damn.
I don't even know if I. God,
is that a handprint on the side of my face? Is that a handprint?
Damn.
All right, Barkley. Thank you for the 5 gifts, Paul S. Appreciate that. 5 memberships, and now we're up to 7 new members. That's awesome. And
that's
now,
pretty good.
I don't want this show to go too terribly long. Ken, you still okay?
But recap. Let's recap.
Yes.
The guest came on. You had no issues. You've done well for your new campaign fund.
Yeah.
Got 7 new members, and you haven't had a single meltdown this entire stream.
Boy, if I believed in magic, I would knock on wood.
That is pretty impressive, dude.
YouTube didn't mess up. Wirecast seems to be
time.
Everything seems to be going like this is fine and that's fine. Wow, man, that is.
Yeah, I got to tell you, this has been a fantastic stream, Ken.
I think it's your new set. I think it's
what it is.
The magic of your new
desk,
set.
though, is giving me anxiety.
My what?
Your desk. It's just a very busy. No, your desk. Like when you went to that second camera angle, it's just very busy. It's very busy.
Is. Well, this is what you get when you do a morning show on the radio.
Every time he says that he does a morning show, take a shot.
Take a drink.
Care. I don't care what you have. Take a shot every time. Right now, we should all be getting our stomachs pumped.
Well, I'm all about marketing.
Good job.
Well, I mean, that explains, I'm doing kind of two broadcasty things here in this little thing.
But did you know something, Ken?
What?
That you did a morning. You do a morning show.
I do a morning show. And
you do a morning show.
Yeah, and I'm saying that now because I've been up since 4 a.m. And that's why I'm a little loopy.
I admire your, what do they call that? Your go-getter.
Oh, I know what it is.
That drive straight to Florida.
Yeah. Oh,
and then drive right back to Tennessee.
I did. Yeah, I did. You know what that is? And you have it too, man.
What's that?
That is tenacity.
Tenacity. I like it.
It's like tenacity, only for us Kens.
Huh.
Yeah. And
so
now
somebody's got
this is from Kobe Parsons. He says, check out my long-range mountain dive. Oh, cool. All right, let's check that out. Here he is. This is in Palm Springs.
What's up? Going mountain surfing here in Palm Springs.
This is the guy who had his daughter with the tower.
Enjoy.
He did a little mountain
flying
surfing as well.
The Nazgul Evoke V2 and 03, but flying a GoPro Hero Black. Yeah.
Yeah. That looks fun, but man, to have to retrieve it up there.
Yeah, that's where you just leave it and hope it doesn't start a fire.
Really? Would you go up? You wouldn't go up and get it?
No, after chasing down 2 Avadas in the hot desert in 112 degrees, I've learned that you just leave it.
Sometimes you do have to make that decision. When you see a cool thing like, I don't know, just like a water tower you want to fly or something, look for the access should the worst happen.
We lost an FPV drone. So Billy and I drove from Vegas to Utah in just like 2 months ago. And, it was still snowing like up in the peaks of Utah. And we were at a ski resort flying some FPV. And he clipped one of the lines for that do the, the ski lifts. He clipped the line. Well, it went down in the snow and it was still on. And there was like a glimmer of hope that we could have found it. But the ski resort, albeit they were closed, kicks us out of there before we could ever recover it. If we would have had like just a little bit longer, we may have been able to find it or recover it, but they kicked us out before we could actually locate it, which sucked. So we left it.
You left it?
Yep, we left it. It just didn't have any availability they were kicking us out.
When I got the furthest, link quality almost lost. My transmission for my RC link. Video was definitely getting a little blurry on that one. Man, that is super intense.
It's super intense. That's what FPV is. So you left it there. How deep of snow was it? It was in like a drift?
There was a pretty good amount of powder underneath those lifts. So, I think that even if we could have walked in there, one, we didn't have any snow gear. It was probably maybe like 1.5 feet, 2 feet of powder. So we would sink down, I don't know if we would have found it. Very slim odds of finding it. It was just a bad spot for it to go down.
Did you lose a camera too? What was on there?
Yeah, he had an Action 3 on top of it. Yeah. So he lost the Action 3 and the FPV drone. Just said, fuck it, leave it.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah, so that sucked. But hey, that happens sometimes. Sometimes you pay to play.
Don't you have some drones in the Florida waters?
I do.
How many drones have you left in the Florida Everglades or whatever?
I have 2. I have 2 in the water.
Yeah.
One I was able to recover, and one is in that lake. That one stung the most because I had that Hero 10 bones on there. That's why I was so pissed about that one, because I had the Hero 10 bones on there. I didn't care about the drone because it was something iFlight had sent for review, but I cared about the Hero 10 bones.
Yeah.
If it was not for that, I probably wouldn't have cared. But, is what it is.
It is what it is. People crash, and sometimes for the weirdest reasons. This is another one that's going to be in the Drone Crashes Volume 10. This is from Carlos Silver. Look out for the pigeon. Okay?
Uh-oh.
Boom!
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That caught me off guard. I didn't expect that.
That pigeon was a jerky. Want to see it again?
Yeah, let's see it again.
Okay, there you go. Fa-pow!
Oh, yeah. You think that bird's dead?
He's probably injured. Yeah, he probably, I don't know. I wouldn't hope that.
I have a bird phobia. Like, every so often I'll be flying, I'll be working a property, and, you know, you get a glimpse of, like, a hawk, like, flashes in front of I'm like, immediately I flip it into sport mode, and I'm like, dive.
Yeah.
You know, trying to get out of there because I just know what's going to happen.
There were quite a few birds when we were flying in these places in Atlanta, and that's another video that I'm going to post soon. Had a great time. We hit all the steel spots, all the, you know, Mr. Steel spots.
You get kicked out of anywhere this time?
No. In fact, and I don't know what it is. It's the magic of the gray hair.
I have no luck when I go to Atlanta. I always get kicked out, but maybe it's because I'm going on a day. You know, I go during, I'm maybe like just towards the tail end of a week.
Well, Ken,
gotta go on the weekend.
Ken, I say this in front of everybody. You know I love you, right? I love you like a brother. Okay, but and everybody, look, Ken, do you agree that you have resting bitch face?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Okay. But and I have kind of like, trust me, grandpa looks a little bit. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess I do sort of have an F off sort of vibe.
Yeah, a little bit. It's off-putting until you get to know you.
Yeah, it's one of those things. But a lot of times I can't get past that. But I will tell you, security guards, if you keep a 20 on you, you're good to go.
Okay. Well, I've depended on my charm. When I was in Atlanta, there was do you know the presidential, that big tower that's.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Well, we wanted to fly there, and the only access was through this new place that they were building, pickleball courts.
Okay.
And it was under construction. And I just walked up and I said, "Hey, is the owner around?" "Yeah, he's over there." "Hey, I'm Ken. I fly drones. We want to fly that building. Can we cut through?" And he's like, "Yeah, all right." And on the way out, Jeff got a job with him to fly his property when he's done construction. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, if you don't ask, the answer is always no.
Yeah, you got to ask. Yeah, you got to at least throw it out there. I always give, you know, the good old try when I'm going to fly somewhere.
Right. Yeah.
I'll
you say, so you're going to let us fly here, or you're going to go fuck yourself? Sorry, kids.
It depends on who, you know. If it's Tampa PD, you know, that's a different story. I mean,
right.
It's hit or miss, man. It's hit or miss.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's coming up on 9 o'clock, and I don't want this to be 10 hours long, but I have one more video from our buddy, Philip Koshat. Oh, my goodness. There's Koshat all over the place. I think I got some on the lens. He filmed the Alabaster, Alabama fireworks, and this is a very short little video from him, but I haven't played one in a while. So here's from Mr. Koshat. Did you fly any fireworks this year?
No.
You didn't? Did you shoot off any fireworks?
Nope, I didn't. You know, we did the very cheap 4th of July, man.
Did you fire your gun?
I didn't do anything very American. I went to a barbecue, and I was literally in bed by 9:30. Neighbors were blasting stuff off, and I was literally peeking out my window and be like, "God damn it, my baby's trying to sleep."
So you didn't even get poop-faced drunk? You didn't drink anything?
No, I didn't even get wasted, man.
Wow.
Yeah, didn't even get. I know, what a weird. You know what it is? I told you, it's hot. It's super hot and miserable down here. And, you know, you start drinking and you combine that with the heat. It's just a recipe for disaster. So I'm trying to I try to stay hydrated, but in the opposite direction.
Totally understand.
So.
Totally understand. Is there anything else you'd like to add? Hey, you're coming to Minefield, right? Did you say you were?
Yeah, I'm contemplating going up there. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I love the Minefield, the event. It's an awesome event. But if I'm just being completely real, the drive up there, sucks from Tampa.
Oh, yeah.
It sucks. It sucks. Yeah. And then the hotel is not a bad situation because you can stay in that little town beforehand, and it's that's not bad.
Right.
I think if I go up there, I'm gonna have to I'm gonna make it like more of a road trip. Like I'm gonna hit a couple of spots, maybe hit like Atlanta on the way back. Or
yeah, that's smart.
I gotta make it a road trip to make it worth the while.
Yeah. Can I entice you a little bit more? I did arrange for an ice cream truck to come.
Well, I mean that's pretty enticing. That's about as enticing as it would get. How many people are we expecting there, Ken?
I've been getting a lot of email confirmations. So far, around maybe 150 have
Jesus
confirmed.
Christ.
But
that's a lot of people.
But a lot of people just show up. There's people from the town that show up, and the mayor's going to be there. Sean, Geeks Vana is coming over from England.
Yeah. See, that's another thing. I sort of have to go because he sort of. He twisted my arm and then he shamed me. Oh, I'm coming from England, blah, blah. He did it in that way he does. So
you're only coming from Florida, man.
I know. I guess.
And the ice cream truck with Sundays.
I'm going to, I'm going to rent the car because I refuse to drive the Jeep anymore.
Okay.
So if I go, I'll rent the car.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot publicly.
No, I know. It's fine.
Okay. But I really want you there because it's always more fun.
There's two Kens.
When there's more, the more Kens, the better.
And I got to be completely real. I haven't flown a lot of at FPV for just fun, just for like fun FPV. I haven't really flown.
Yeah.
So that would be fun to fly, just for that.
It would be. Awesome.
So yeah.
All right, cool. What do you got coming up on in your future, and maybe in your channel? I know you haven't posted in a while. You're very busy working. What do you got? You got a new studio there? What's going on with you?
Yeah, I just release. I'm releasing tutorials. I'm trying to do more tutorials. Color grading, more on the production side for stuff. So we'll release a video tomorrow. I would say stay tuned. There's some stuff coming. This is gonna be a very busy month. So
awesome.
Be on the lookout.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Ken, for co-hosting.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, as always.
We hope you enjoyed the show half as much as you would have if it had been twice as good.
My goodness. It's almost over and nothing went wrong.
Yeah.
What the hell is this?
It is what we would call an anomaly.
Yeah, the luck of the Kens. Thank you so much, Ken. Original Dobo. Links to everything in the description. Thank you very much, Sean Mathis, for being on from Australia and Drones Down Under. Again, links to his stuff also. Jeff Sills for all the wonderful news. Thank you guys for your amazing support monetarily and for just being here. I appreciate it. Until next time, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing.
And bye-bye.
And that's it.
enjoy pigeon jerky. Pigeon jerky, the killer the processed meat. Enjoy pigeon jerky. Pigeon jerky, and you'll give your family a treat. It's balanced nutrition to help them grow, and it's full of fiber to make them grow. You enjoy pigeon jerky. Pigeon jerky, a tail like a processed meat. Yeah. That was so funny.
You'll enjoy Thursday Night Live with Ken Heron and Kelly, Jeff and Bo Shark too. There'll be fun and quizzes and Kelly's misses. The bird is the word in the news. It's the #1 live stream, it's got pizzazz. There's only one rule, don't fart in the rats. If you think it's funny, super chat some money, 'cause TNL is here for you. Yeah!